recognize the member for Guelph.
Speaker, I'll be sharing my time with the member from Haldimand, Norfolk. Let's be clear. Bill 5 is a flawed bill that was developed with a flawed process that disrespects First Nations across the province, especially those in northwestern Ontario, and quite frankly, disrespects people across Ontario. That's exactly why tens of thousands of people have signed petitions to kill Bill 5. That's exactly why over 100 organizations wrote a letter to the Premier to kill Bill 5, and their spokesperson called it the worst bill in a generation. That's exactly why the Ontario Federation of Agriculture, the National Farmers Union, and others have expressed concerns around Bill 5. But it's especially why First Nations chiefs across this province have expressed outrage about Bill 5. It's why thousands of people were on the front lawn on Monday telling this government to kill Bill 5. And yet the government plows ahead with a flawed bill and a flawed process that the government, after last night's committee hearings, has even acknowledged that they weren't able to get their amendments in that were supposed to supposedly fix this bill, which I would argue they wouldn't have fixed the bill. But that being said, they're still going to plow ahead with this bill. So I want to remember back to the last Parliament when we had a mining bill that traveled to Timmins, at least to the northeast. It didn't go to the northwest. It at least traveled to the near north. And I remember those hearings where First Nations leaders came to committee and told us in Timmins and Sudbury that they were not consulted on that bill and that was unacceptable. And I recall members of the government saying, we will do better next time. Well, Speaker, the next time is here. The next time is here. And we've actually have even worse consultation on this bill, which has bigger impacts. A bill that will actually give this government extraordinary and unprecedented powers to override Indigenous rights, attack environmental protections, labor laws, and democratic oversight through these special economic zones, not to mention how many other schedules in this bill that are deeply problematic. And that's why people in this province, even mining companies that largely support the intent of the bill, are expressing concern. I mean, Glencore has written that the extraordinary power that this bill gives Cabinet, the threat to the rule of law, will actually undermine the development of major projects in this province. So, Speaker, I want the government to be on notice. People are already talking about how they are going to resist this bill. I'm already receiving requests to speak at rallies against Bill 5. And let's remember Bill 23 passed to open the Greenbelt for development, and it was a year later that the Premier finally backtracked on that. And I guarantee the government, people will not stand by and allow our democracy to be attacked in this way. You have an opportunity right now. Kill Bill 5.